Welcome to The Know, I'm Meg Turney, and with the annual PlayStation Experience arriving this weekend in San Francisco, PS4 owners everywhere are waiting for big announcements and gameplay reveals to come out of the event. At last year's PSX, gamers were treated to trailers and footage of more than 30 games at the opening keynote, with 16 of those being first ever announcements for games like Street Fighter V, as well as the very first glimpse of Uncharted 4 in action. Rumors and speculation are already swirling around the PlayStation Experience for this year. One of the biggest rumors has to do with Sony Bend, the studio that made the Siphon Filter games and brought the Uncharted series to the PS Vita with Golden Abyss. It's long been rumored that Sony Bend is working on an open-world horror game with the Unreal 4 engine for the PS4, and now gamers are starting to wonder if we'll get the official announcement at PSX this weekend. Sony Bend's Eric Jensen teased fans on Twitter last month, stating that his hotel room was booked for PSX and saying, "It's happening." We're also expecting to get a face full of PlayStation VR announcements, and also a face full of PlayStation VR. In addition to whatever Sony plans to be developing for VR during its keynote, they've also set aside a VR panel for fans to attend on Saturday, teasing that special guests would also make an appearance. Maybe we'll see the rumored first-person God of War demo that Sony president Yoshida said sold him on PlayStation VR. And speaking of God of War, we do know that God of War 4 is in development with a possible release date of 2016 or 2017. Rumored to be a reboot of the beloved action series, God of War 4 would definitely make a huge splash if it was revealed at PSX. Probably the biggest rumors surrounding the show have to do with Destiny. In one of their recent weekly updates, developer Bungie teased, "Are you going to PSX? Because we're totally gonna be there. Should be fun for all, whether you're there or not." Could Bungie be revealing their next expansion plans for Destiny? The Taken King was packed full of content, but Destiny players have long since decrypted it. Hell, last night someone even soloed Oryx. And now that the new challenge modes are part of the King's Fall raid, we've probably seen the last of the major content for that edition. Now, side note, you can get mad loot if you do the War Priest challenge this week, guys, just a heads up. Because of a leaked image from last year outlining Bungie's plans for Destiny heading into 2016, we do know that at one point they were planning for content to release after The Taken King, which was originally called Comet. Now, according to that image, the next expansion could be Vex themed, with Cabal content following shortly thereafter. To be fair, a lot of development plans changed for Destiny heading into The Taken King, but we're guessing that one way or another, we're gonna get some pretty awesome news at PSX, since Activision and Sony have been unnecessarily close lately, like get a room type close. On that front, we're guessing we'll see the next round of PS4 exclusive content for Call of Duty and possibly even Battlefront. And while we're in wild speculation mode, it seems that while we've gotten a ton of Uncharted 4 gameplay, we haven't seen much more about its story. We know it takes place 3 years after the events of Uncharted 3. Drake has settled down with Elena, sorry to all you Team Chloe people, and Drake's long-thought dead brother seemingly returned from the grave in need of Drake's help. After Uncharted 4, there will probably also be a slew of indie game trailers and announcements like last year, plus some of the cool news about Final Fantasy VII's remake, which we really haven't heard much about since E3. And maybe, just maybe, Sony will shed some light on that mysterious tweet by From Software last week, which seemed to tease a remastered version of Demon's Souls coming to the PS4, now with more remastered difficulty. But the last thing on our wish list, for Sony to finally talk about the classic PlayStation games emulation. After years of rumors, Sony quietly slipped an update that enabled emulation for a few classic PS2 games into its recent firmware, so we know that it works and that they have plans for it. But when are they going to outline how it works and when we'll be able to play more of our classics library? I need that Parappa the Rapper.
You got the funky flow.
Also, how does Sony keep doing seemingly big things in secret and then updating them without telling anyone? Unlocking cores, adding emulation. Guys, you're sitting on huge announcements here. Give us more hoopla. We'll probably get lots more surprises and disappointments when the actual PlayStation Experience gets underway on Saturday, because really that's how these things go. So what do you expect to see from Sony this weekend? Tell us your predictions and your wishes in the comments down below. To get more up-to-date Sony news and rumors, like this video, subscribe to this channel so you can know what we know and be in the know on this show. Heart you! Could Bungie be revealing their next Could Bungie be revealing their next expansion plans? God damn it.